So today I'm going to talk about forest harvest and regeneration management in interior Alaska boreal forest under rapid climate change. So there hasn't been much focus on boreal forest in the Arctic research, but now we have to think about boreal forest as part of the Arctic ecosystem because of the changing climate. And boreal forest is very important because it covers 30% of forest lands on the Earth and provides many ecosystem services. But the boreal forests are going under many changes. And climate warming is one of the biggest challenges in Boreal Alaska, and there are many evidence of warming in Boreal Alaska. So in this presentation, I'm going to cover 3 topics. So historical harvest and regeneration management, implementation of post-harvest regeneration management, and an ecosystem approach to climate change and regeneration. So we are at the start, so we are right in the interior Alaska, and study area is within the interior Alaska boreal region, and the black polygon is the state forest lands, and these stands are one of the most productive forest stands in the interior Alaska. So this shows the historical timber harvest in interior Alaska. So black polygons are the harvest on state forest lands, and the purple is on the other forest lands. So as you can see, the harvest activity was very small. Only about 1% of the total forest area was harvested. So these graphs represent the annual volume harvested. So on state forest lands, the harvest activity was continuous, and mostly white spruce olive was logged. And on other forest lands, the harvest activity was exotic, but there are some missing record in the late 1970s to 80s. And the species logged was all spruce olive. So this is a comparison of annual allowable cut and actual harvested volume by species on lands set aside for timber harvest. So allowable cut is a volume of timber that may be harvested during a given period that is specified by a sustained yield forest plan. So the left blue bar is the allowable cut, and the remaining 4, the right bars are the actual harvested volume. So as you can see, the actual harvested volume was much lower than the allowable cut level. And even for the species which was most harvested, white spruce, only about 11% of annual allowable cut was harvested. However, the harvest activity was concentrated near road network. So orange polygons are the harvest units within 1 kilometer of a road. So area within 1 kilometer, harvested volume was 1.4 times larger than annual allowable cut level. So for sustainable forest harvest, the road network might need to be expanded in the future. And now I'm going to talk about the types of harvest and regeneration management. savage logging increased after Rosy Creek fire in 1983, which burned about 3,500 hectares in state forest lands. And cutting increased in 1990s, but more recently, partial cutting has become more common practice. And on other forest lands, they were trying to keep record of harvest activities, but there are many missing records, and the harvest activity was largely unknown. And after harvest, site preparation, which is the practice of removing or mixing the surface organic layer to promote tree regeneration after harvest, was applied in some stands. So less than 20% area received site preparation, and artificial reforestation was also applied on some stands. So about half the area was planted by white spruce seedlings. So based on these results, we can say that the forest harvest and regeneration management in this study area is very low input management. So the question now is how this low input management affects the tree regeneration. So I sampled tree regeneration in 30 harvest units across the wide landscape. And so all the sampled units were previously white spruce dominated stands and logged between 1975 and 2004. And the sampled units were balanced in regard with the type of harvest and regeneration management. So did the stands regenerate adequately? So now I will show you the result of regeneration post-harvest. So these are the density of tree regeneration. So the state of Alaska has regeneration standard, which is a little over 1,000 stems per hectare. So as you can see in the first graph, all the harvest units exceeded the standard. And there is different standard for larger stems. And in the second graph, so except for very young stands, all the stands met the regeneration standard. So we can say that regeneration was successful based on this standard. And this is a biomass accumulation. So in the study area, main demand might be biomass energy, and regeneration is largely composed of wood, which means it might require a change in species use from white spruce to hardwood. So this is the ecosystem approach to implementation of management goals. So as you can see, you will get different ecosystem outcomes by applying different management actions in different circumstances. So for example, after clear cutting, if large white spruce seed crop exists, then site preparation may not be necessary. But if seed crop is not present or expected, then site preparation might be necessary to get enough regeneration. But this diagram assumes steady state environment, And we all know that the environment is changing. And so in order to examine the effect of climate change on future regeneration, we built a model of regeneration using 3 IPCC climate scenarios, elaborate model to climate, and predict future regeneration in different locations of landscape. So here is the result. So the left part is a historical under historical climate, and then the right part, the red one, is under A2 scenario, which is the strong warming scenario. So as you can see, regeneration under modest warming would increase, but substantial reduction of regeneration would occur under strong climate warming. And so where would this regeneration failure occur? So this is showing the failure of white spruce natural regeneration under A2 scenario. So I'd like you to look at the pink polygons. So pink means the so regeneration would occur under historical climate, but not under A2 scenario. So it means regeneration failure under A2, the warming scenario. So, and the background is the average light temperature. So white spruce regeneration failure would occur in low and moderate elevation on the south of major ridges with high light temperature. And then this one, the background is average light precipitation. So the regeneration failure would occur with low to moderate light precipitation. And then the same thing for birch. So birch regeneration failure is more widespread across low elevation valleys and ridges with high light temperatures and low to moderate light precipitation. So using all these results, we provide 3 adaptive management options. First is to maintain current species. For this option, we need to identify suitable climatic site, which is probably higher elevation or more northerly aspect. So in this stance, we can continue harvesting and regenerating the current species, or some stands might need assisted migration. So maybe from the lower elevation to higher elevation, or south aspect to more northerly aspect. And for this option, we need to monitor the regeneration, study drought stress on regeneration, and study more genetically suitable trees. And then the second option is to maintain a forest landscape. So in some sites, it might not be possible to sustain the current tree species. So in these areas, assisted migration of new species might be an option. And for this option, we need to assess the risk of species introduction and study the most appropriate genetic species. And then the last option is to allow biome conversion. So in the areas with hottest and driest climate, it might not be possible to sustain even forest landscape. So in these areas, shrub or grassland for new products or wildlife species might be an option. And for this option, we need to explore new products, such as wood bison. Thank you.
Thank you, Miho. Any questions for Miho? Well, thank you. Oh, sorry.
So on your last slide, you said new products. Is wood bison would be feeding on the grass? So it's
Yeah.
okay.
It's like forest and grassland kind of species. And wood bison is actually introduced into western Alaska.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Excellent. I like your graphics on that.
thank you.
Thank you, Miho. Good to see you again.
Yeah.